Hi there, this is Steve Spurrier. You can join University of Florida Hall of Famer Shane Matthews and also the two-time SEC Player of the Year every weekday as he brings you all you need to know about the Florida Gators, including news, analysis, opinions, and some of the biggest names in sports. You can find him on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. Or you can watch him live at 8 a.m. on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter.
Good morning, Friday edition of PodUp with Matthews in the Morning, coming to you from the International Diamond Center Studios, locations across the state of Florida and right here in Celebration Point in the heart of Gator Nation. We'll have JC today. We'll also have Edgar Thompson from the Orlando Sentinel get his thoughts on what he's seen in his very brief viewing periods at practice. We can talk about Ben Shelton. Congratulations to him for winning the event up in Canada. His first event, probably first of many. And we got some other stuff. JC, you're on the Titan MR hotline, courtesy of Comfort Temp. I want to give a shout out to our man Joe Calorio, who is the owner of Titan MRI and Imaging.
Yeah.
It is his 7th year anniversary. Just congratulations to him and his family. If you need an MRI, folks, they make it so damn easy there.
My wife's been twice. It couldn't be better. Love Titan MRI and Big Joe C. QB, another guy with initial JC, unbelievable. So QB Ben Shelton's win last night was his first Masters 1000 tournament. He had won a previous tournament in Houston, and he'd also won somewhere in Tokyo. So he's won an ATP 500 and ATP 250, but now the Masters 1000 series, it's kind of like the tournament at Quail Hollow. It's like the tournament it's one of those special tournaments on the golf tour. These Masters 1000 tournaments are a big deal, a lot of money and big names. And the guy he beat Karen Khachanov or whomever from Russia. Excellent hard court player. It was a fantastic match. Each player held serve in the third set. He won 7-6 in the tiebreaker of the third set. And as you know, of course, when you're not playing a Grand Slam event, you only have to win 2 out of 3 sets. In Grand Slams, which the U.S. Open will be here coming up, which I'm going to go to in 2 weeks, those are 3 out of 5 sets. What's that?
You're going
to U.S. Open, absolutely. And I'm going to go watch. I'm going to go watch U.S. Open before the first game for football season starts. I want to go that first week so I can watch all the players, men's and women's. I love it. I'm going to the U.S. Open. So anyway, Ben Shelton will be there. His dad, Brian Shelton. You could just.
What do you think he has to pay his dad?
Oh, I'm sure he his dad's probably not going to ask for a lot, but a lot is enough. And he probably pays him fair, but dad probably says, "Don't overpay me, son," because this is. I'm sure that dad is doing better today coaching Ben than he was making over at UF coaching the men's team. But I think that Ben Shelton, now number 6 in the world on the men's side on the ATP Tour, he is ranked 6th with this win. That takes him ahead of Novak Djokovic. He's now got 4 straight top 20 wins against top 20 opponents playing tennis. So now that he's number 6, he's going to be ranked very high and get probably a good seed and a good quarter when it comes to the U.S. Open. That's very important for seeding. And Ben Shelton is on his game right now, as good as he's ever played. And he is number 6 in the world. Number 6 in the world. Kid that played right over here at Hawkstone Country Club, warming up with his sister. Number 6 in the world. It's a tremendous accomplishment. He's worked so hard. He's one of the most liked people on the ATP Tour. Khachanov, who he played last night, is a good friend of his from Russia. This was excellent tennis. I've watched every single point. I'm so impressed. Those hard courts are different than clay and obviously different than grass. And I think that works well for hard hitters like Ben Shelton, who can get to anything. He played defense on the baseline as good as I've ever seen him play, because that dude was bringing some rockets. And good for Ben Shelton. He's a Gator. He only played 1 year at Florida, but he won the NCAA singles title. I think it was only 1 year. And he won the NCAA singles title, went pro, and now it's paid off. God bless him.
Yep. Text on the Titan MR text line for Matt. He says, I live in Memphis and will be at the St. Jude tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
Great to be out there. Miss seeing Billy Horschel. Looks like you boys should have gone with old Akshay. He went
Uh,
low at 62. You know, I had him on my list, quite honestly, but I crossed
yeah.
him out because he played
What?
terrible the week before.
Yeah, and
Anyway,
he's faded the last couple of weeks. Yeah.
anyway, he watched the first episode of the SEC series on Netflix. Didn't think I could like Brian Kelly any less, but after watching that episode, I just can't stand the guy. Also, have you heard about the conversation that aired on the show between Brian Kelly and Trace Armstrong, who represents both him and Garrett Nussmeier? Seems like a huge mess having to play both sides. I have not seen that show at all. JC, I don't know if you have. You have a
Yeah. No.
Netflix. Have you watched it?
No, I might watch it this weekend over at the beach. I think Netflix just great sports inside looks at sports, and I watch those shows. I love watching that stuff. I love the behind the scenes stuff. It's great, and the quarterback series they have with Burrow, with Kirk Cousins, and Jared Goff is excellent. I just think it's tremendous. It gives you an inside look, shows the human side of these guys, and I highly recommend watching that.
On the Titan MR text line from Daryl says, "Good morning from Maine. The air quality is fine. I'm not worried about the injuries on the Gators football team."
Yeah,
We'll
Dallas was.
touch up on. Look, everybody gets hurt during
I
football
know.
camp. I'm not worried about it. I mean, do you want a freshman in a boot? No.
No.
Um,
QB leg injuries, man. Those I think for guys like wide receivers and running backs.
well, usually it's like hamstring soreness or hamstring strain from running a lot.
Yeah.
Which I would rather that than somebody being a boot personally. But we'll talk to Edgar, see what Edgar has any scoop on that.
He's out for 2 to 3 weeks. There's your scoop, and he might probably play for the Long Island game for about a half a series.
He may not play at all,
or he may not play and get him ready for USF. But there's your scoop. He's out 2 to 3 weeks. That's it. And the thing is that this is one thing I've been preaching about. Damn it, for 2 weeks. Is injuries. They've got to be lucky on the injury side, and this is the kind of thing I just can't stand here.
But not just the Gators. Everybody has to be any football team.
But I'm not talking about any football team. I was just talking about Florida.
Okay, so let's talk about Alabama. They have some injuries on the offensive line or at the running back position. They have to be lucky. I mean, everybody does.
Yeah, that's right.
It's because I was talking to somebody the other day. Everybody talks about the entire season lays on DJ's shoulders. I disagree with that. Do we want him to play? Absolutely. But you could say the entire season for LSU lies on Garrett Nussmeier.
Yeah.
The entire season for the Oklahoma Sooners lies on John Mateer. The entire season for the South Carolina Gamecocks lies on Lenore Sellers.
Right.
So, look, to have the year, I've always said, and Coach Spurrier has always said this, to have a great year, you have to be lucky on the injury front.
Yeah.
And you have to get a lot of breaks.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, that's right. That's absolutely right. It's like trying to win the Circa Survivor Series in Vegas on the football for $14 million. You have to be lucky sometimes when you pick the Washington Commanders to win a game. Yeah, no, it's right. You got to be lucky sometimes in everything, right? So I don't know. I just hope they're lucky. That's all I was trying to say is I want Florida to be lucky this season. Graham Mertz goes down. Okay, they got lucky and they discovered DJ Lagway. All right. That's one way of looking at how you can get lucky. But Graham Mertz was a good player for Florida. And at the time he got hurt, it really stunk. Nobody liked it. It wasn't good. It's bad. So
here's a text from Johnny on the Titan MR text line. He goes, "Have y'all watched any preseason football? AR took a shot last night and probably for a while."
That's a guy. That guy. I'm telling you, that guy.
Here's what's interesting. Because I get on Twitter a few times a day. It's usually either when I wake up or go to bed.
Yeah.
The comments.
Yeah.
This is to show you how the average fan does not understand football, because there are multiple people on there talking about how dumb the Colts coach is for having AR play and blaming the offensive line on that play.
Well, he goes a jailbreak, QB.
The entire play was AR's fault.
It was?
There's my point right there. Yes. If it's slide protection to the left, it's a 5-man protection. Slide protection.
I didn't know you had the freaking headsets on. Okay.
Everybody. No. It's all over Twitter. People, and what's great about it is Kurt Warner, all these retired quarterbacks go, this is all on AR because of the protection scheme. He didn't even know he was hot to the right.
Yeah.
The offensive tackle to the right did what they call a sift block, which he blocks most dangerous man. He blocked the correct guy. You're hot off the end man on the line of scrimmage. Your back in the flat was wide ass open.
Uh,
Wide ass open.
well,
So
well,
that's what I'm talking about. The if you don't know football, because sometimes the offensive line gets too much blame.
yeah.
That sack entirely on the quarterback.
That's too bad for him.
Entirely.
Yeah, well, this is why he needs to practice and play and all that. But if he just
No,
doesn't,
that's football 101. He can't. This is year 3. You can't miss that.
yeah.
You can't miss that. That's all I'm saying.
All right. Well, let's see. He just played his pinky finger on his right hand, his throwing hand, and that guy just can't get a break. Well, I don't know.
Well, it's
got a break, but he
should have
got
never
dragged.
got. Well, the point of it is he should have never been touched. If you know your protection schemes and what they're doing, boom, ball's out. You don't even get touched.
That Raven was on him in less than 2 seconds.
JC, go watch it. If
Okay.
I'll come draw it up at your house of what should have happened. Kurt Warner explained it very well.
Oh, you
There were
watched Kurt?
there were actually offensive linemen, retired offensive linemen, somehow on this feed telling the people that don't tell me you don't know football when you don't know football or something like that, whatever that saying is.
So all he had to do was just notice that what was going on and what was coming to him.
No, JC. So every play,
Mm-hmm.
here's what, and people's comments were they need to keep a tight end in and this guy needs to do that. The back should chip. No, not every play is different. Protection, you have multiple protection schemes. Are there times when the offensive tackle fans out and blocks the end man on the line? Yes. Are there times when they slide and the back has the end man on the line of scrimmage? Yes. But in this scenario, it was a 5-man protection, which means the 5 offensive linemen. Every other receiver is out on a route. The back is free releasing, meaning he has no responsibility. It doesn't matter if 4 guys come at him, he ain't touching them.
There wasn't an empty backfield there?
No.
Okay. I thought there was.
The back came out of the backfield into the flat. Okay. A lot of people said the back should have blocked him. No, not on that play. You don't just make up because a guy's coming and block him. That's not football because you're trying to attack the weakness of the defense. The weakness of that defense when they bring it's a zone blitz. That is the wide ass open area. If you go look, there are 2 wide open dudes over there. AR didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
Well, no, I mean, all that sounds right. I just didn't see it, but I just heard some guy just freeloaded on him. So I guess you can assume if you don't see the play or know what you're talking about, that was somebody missing.
Right. The average person is going to say, why did the offensive lineman slide and block the most dangerous on the inside? Well, the most dangerous for a quarterback when 2 guys are coming free is the one that's closest. The right tackle did exactly what he's supposed to do. Let the outside guy come free, quarterback has to handle him.
Okay. Well,
right, there's our football 101.
I like it, but that's one less pinky now. I mean,
like I said, he would have never been touched if he does what he's supposed to do.
Yeah, no, listen, the Colts know, and everybody knows they shouldn't have drafted him 4. And it has nothing to do with anything other than that.
Electronics World, integration and design specialist for smart home automation and entertainment. It's summer, folks. Let Electronics World bring the Florida Gators college football and the NFL to your living room. Go check them out, electronicsworld.net. All right, we got a text here from Gary on the Titan MR text line. Doesn't say where he's from. He said, I'd like to get your guys' thoughts on all these videos going viral with the sorority girls dancing in front of their sorority houses. Have you seen that, JC?
Yeah, I have. It's great. Girls love to dance. They're all about that. They're all about it, really. That's my thought. I think it's great. My thought is these girls love to have fun. It's getting to be the best time of the year for sorority girls and fraternity boys. Rush is coming up. It's a very happy time. Summer's over. School's about to start. I think it's great. Go, girls, go. I don't know what else you could say about that. What else is there to say?
I don't know. He just asked if I've seen it. Yes, I've seen it.
They're correct. It's really well synchronized. You would think these girls really practiced a lot of this stuff. I mean, these guys, this looked really good.
There was multiple sororities across the country.
They do it everywhere, right? They do it everywhere.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what they're not going to do from now on at University of Tennessee is allow the call-in show to come on anymore. Their Vols calls is off the air, dude. They took it off after 35 years. What is going on at Tennessee where they raise ticket prices, they do this, they do that to the fans, and then they take the call-in show off the air during the week? Vols calls.
I don't know if I don't know if that still happens a lot because I know Billy.
Yeah, you think that's off? That's no longer a thing?
I'm trying to think with Billy and Sean on Thursday nights. They don't have call-ins. They'll have people at whatever. I don't know where they have it now. I want to say they have it at
Isn't it Spurrier's Gridiron Grill?
no, Miller's Ale House is where they have it.
Oh,
But the only people they can ask questions are the people in attendance.
okay.
Yeah, the call-in shows have I think they've kind of all gone away, quite honestly. Here's a text from Ronnie in Knoxville, Tennessee, by the way.
Ask Ronnie about Vols calls.
All right, Ronnie, how about Vols calls? Ronnie says, I think Vegas has us winning just over half our games. I'm not looking for a win total, but if your only two options are 6-6 or 10-2, which do you see as more probable outcome?
Well, it's
Oh yeah.
I think it's 6-6, but
Yeah, 10-2 is going to be tough.
10-2 is with that schedule. Listen, I don't think anybody's backing away from it, but reality is reality, and I think the total was 7.5. I went over. I took 8. I'm assuming that these guys could stay healthy, hopefully, and play, a lot and not be substituted in for all the time with hurt injuries. But man, the schedule is just it is what it is. I think that's what Vegas is looking at. A lot of folks have the under. A lot of folks, but they lost last. Well, let's see. Did they? Yeah, the under lost last year. So we'll go with that. By the way, Paul Skeens, pitcher for the Pirates, LSU guy, last year, 23 starts at this time. Last year, 23 starts with an ERA of 1.96. This year, 24 starts, ERA 1.94. And he's got a 500 or a losing record, wins and losses. But his numbers as a pitcher are spectacular, and he's still in the running for the Cy Young despite his record because his team.
Where do they rank like historically, JC?
Where
His
does
numbers? His numbers.
Oh, I don't know what that historical number would be again, but I'm just saying 24 starts with a sub-2 ERA is spectacular. And to do it 2 years in a row, deep into August with
you know what's going to happen?
The team that gives you 0 run support is amazing. He's the best pitcher, one of the best.
I think he's the best pitcher in baseball. You know what's going to happen?
I think it's Nathan Eovaldi, but right now I'd put Paul Skeens.
When's his contract? Is he on?
Well, he's on his rookie deal, so I think it's 3 years. I think he's got one more year in Pittsburgh.
So he'll be playing for the Yankees in 2 years,
or the Red Sox, or the Dodgers, or the But hey, whatever it is, this guy is the real deal. What he's got to decide is how much effort do I want to keep giving Pittsburgh to preserve my arm for my next contract, because I still think he's going to be in Pittsburgh for another year. But he is just an amazing pitcher. And, it's hard to hit him. Well, I'll tell you who's amazing is that Nathan Eovaldi at Texas. I tell you, he is he hit the Yankees the other night. And with him and Jake DeGrom back-to-back pitching for Texas, that is a team you do not want to deal with in any type of 3 out of 5 scenario or 4 out of 7 scenario. If Texas can get in, watch out for the Rangers.
Alberto in Miami Lakes on the Titan MR text line says, QB, why did the fullback position go the way of the dinosaur? Spread offenses, spreading them out, putting them in the shotgun.
Yeah.
I think there might be 1 or 2 teams that have even a fullback on their roster. I'd probably say Michigan. I don't even know if they do now that Harbaugh's gone. I'd have to really think about it.
No,
Gators,
but it is right. I mean,
we ain't got one.
No, no, it. What they did, the New Orleans Saints would run fullback plays a lot.
Yeah, Sean Payton every now and then will line up in the old school eye and run some stuff. I don't know if the Broncos do that now or not. Yeah. Josh and Wamama on the Titan MR text line. Gentlemen, you see AR's broken finger. He can't catch a break. I agree, but that's all on him. That play was all on him. And then Josh says, hope JC knows Marines eat crayons. Go Army.
I have an Army shirt on, but this was given to me by our wonderful listener, Paul, out of Pensacola, who wants me to get on a 1942 Chinese trainer plane, which there is 0 chance in hell I'll doing that. But thank you for the input, Paul. And love you, Paul. Love you so much. And, I'm reading your book, and I have to honor the Marines. But, yeah, I'm an Army guy. My whole family's Army. My cousin's retired 3-star general. So we're Army folks.
But the guy that takes you everywhere is a Navy guy.
Yeah, the Marines are a division of the Navy. That's right. The Navy is such a massive branch of our Defense Department, and the SEALs, sea, air, land. I think
Um,
the Navy's great too.
31 Ember on YouTube brought by Quiet Plum says, I think Scooble is the best pitcher in baseball.
Oh, I mean, you can make
I
that
mean, he's
case.
very good, but he's got a better team than Paul Skeens.
Oh yeah, you can definitely make that case. Tarek Skubal is tremendous. He is the favorite right now to win the Cy Young in the American League. There's no doubt, and he should be. But the Tigers, they've had a great year. You're right, QB. They're better than the Pirates.
Pirates stink.
Pirates are
Alan on YouTube brought to you by Quiet Plum says, didn't Lorenzo Hampton play fullback? I don't
Yeah.
think so. I think he was a tailback.
Yeah, and he was one of the running backs.
It was Neil, Lorenzo,
and John L. Williams. But
John L. is a fullback.
Yeah, John L. may have been, but he was one of the fastest fullbacks you'll ever see. He out of Palatka, and when we were talking about those '80s teams the other day, we neglected to mention Low Hamp. So Lorenzo Hampton was a great player for Florida, and I should have mentioned him.
This Day in Sports brought to you by Campus USA Credit Union. Put some star power to work in your financial life at Campus USA Credit Union. We're proud members, Stephen Orr Spurrier Banks.
That's right. That's right.
That makes me laugh.
Oh, I got this.
Well, can I tell you what the play of the day is?
Let's hear it.
Well, what were you getting ready to interrupt that?
I already forgot. Go ahead.
1992, the Dream Team, the original Dream Team, JC, wins the gold in Barcelona.
Okay.
It was Jordan, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Scottie Pippen, Charles Barkley, and Patrick Ewing, and others. How about that? That excites you?
I think it's amazing to me that they could get those guys together to do something like that, a scrimmage.
Well, that was
when the Olympics
when actually it was kind of cool to do that. Now, I mean, I don't know. It just doesn't do much for me now.
Brent says I was very close to buying a Colts hat. Well, I have a Colts visor in the closet back there.
You want to give it away?
No. No. Listen, I don't think the Colts are doomed. I think Daniel Jones, with the coach there, should perform well in that division. Why not? Why can't you? You can get an exacta bet at 30-1 on the Jaguars and Colts in that. On the Jags and Colts. That means Houston would have to be third, but that's a pretty good number, 30-1. Let's see here. Yeah. Sorry.
Camp says on Facebook Live, brought to you by Mellon, we beat Georgia and LSU, and we aren't banking on that. Gunner won't be enough, and we had them last year. Not sure what that means. Oh, he says we're going to go 10-2.
All right. Hey, you know what? I'm pulling for you. Shane and I are talking about what's more realistic. But maybe 10-2 is. Maybe this team is going to do what everybody who really is high on them thinks they will do. But there are people out there that are taking the under 7.5. They lost last year. Kevin says, I crack him up. He loves Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 8 to 9. Thank you, Kevin. We love you too. Great to have you watching. Brent, we have him. Love hearing Shane break down plays. And that is a treat for people here, QB, because, they don't get to hear you break it down as often as they probably should unless they're listening to the live broadcast, because you will do that very well on the live broadcast. So I highly recommend, if you don't want to watch the TV edition of the Gators playing with whoever they have, turn the volume down and put on Sean Kelly and the QB, and you'll get your broadcast. It's the way to go, man. It's the way to go.
Yeah. Brad on YouTube brought by Quad Plum says, do you think Teddy and Trask will split reps on Saturday? I have not followed the Bucks close enough. I don't know who else they have on their roster. I guess Baker's banged up a little bit. Is that correct?
I didn't hear that. I don't know.
Yeah, I think he is.
More importantly, do you think the Bucks—
I don't think Teddy Bridgewater will play a whole lot. I think they'll give him a couple of series, and then they'll say, because he's been around for so long, he doesn't need it.
That guy he just bounces around from one to the other to the other.
What's wrong with that, JC? Hell, that's what I did.
Well, yeah, you're right.
Although Teddy Bridgewater's made like 42 times more money than I made.
A little bit more. So the Bucks win total is 9.5. Even money if you go over. I like
the Bucks to win that division.
That's very doable. They start the year though on the road at Atlanta, at Houston, but the Bucks are the team, I think, here in the state of Florida that most people can be excited about. Although I'm a Jags season ticket holder, I'm going to root for them. But Tampa Bay at Atlanta, at Houston to start the season, then at home against the Jets and Philly. How many fans do you think from the Northeast are going to be in the Tampa Bay area on the weekend of the 21st and the 28th. Jets at Philly coming in town, man. That's going to be crazy. They do play a night game at Detroit. I guess that's Sunday or Monday night. It says 7:00. Here's Monday night against the Rams in LA on the 23rd. And Atlanta, they play them on Monday night on the 11th. If that is a Monday, it's an 8:00 game. So the Bucs do have 4 games at night. So they'll be on national television 4 times this year. So people are high on the Bucs. The fans aren't really thrilled about the coach. You know, Todd is one of those very calm, he doesn't show a lot of emotion. But let him win this division for the 5th straight time, and they're going to love him.
Do you need a coach that shows emotion, JC?
I need somebody that shows a heartbeat, QB.
Well, does Andy Reid show a heartbeat?
Well, no, but
Okay.
but he wins. Okay, he
Yeah.
wins Super Bowls. And,
Well, he's got a great player at quarterback that's helping him win. I like the Bucs team. Shane says on Facebook Live, brought to you by Mel Law, not me, another Shane. There ain't many of us in the world. He says AR is a joke, worst pick by the Colts in decades. Sucked at UF, sucks at Indy. He says it's tough to match up the TV and the radio, though. There's a way to do that. I don't know how it is, but I don't know if you have to just delay your TV just for a second. I don't know if we're ahead of the TV or behind it. I don't really know. But there's also an app.
You're ahead.
Your
I think you're ahead of the TV, QB.
Yeah, we might be. I don't know.
I think you are.
There is a way to sync that up. People do it all the time. This text, not sure it's from Kevin. It says here on the Titan More Texan. How about Mertz? Is he going to play for the Texans? I think he makes the roster. I've heard really good things coming out of camp. I don't know what the rotation is. He'll get some playing time whenever they play I was going to call it the spring game, but the preseason game 1.
So they have 3 games in the preseason. I really got to be honest. I never watch a preseason football. Do you ever watch it?
I watched some last night because there was nothing else on TV, and I don't really watch it. I just like the background noise of a football game.
You could have watched the tennis last night with Ben.
I forgot. Was that on ESPN?
No, it was on the tennis channel.
Oh, I don't know if my TV finds the tennis channel, JC.
You got the YouTube.
No, I have it. I just don't know if my TV usually don't go to the tennis channel very often.
Go like I go and just say, beep.
I watched some of the golf last night that I taped.
Yeah, how are we doing in that? We have anybody going?
Oh, I don't know, but it's like pitch and putt there in Memphis.
It is, man. It's just this is how these guys.
And I wanted to make a correction. I said the other day on the program, I think it was Wednesday, I was calling this the Tour Championship. I forgot there's like 2 rounds before the Tour Championship.
Yeah, that is in Atlanta. That's the last one of the 3. The next one I want to say is in Boston. I could be wrong, but you're top 50 or top 75 and then top 50.
So the only person I believe that we have, Morikawa was tied for 7th at 4 under.
I got him.
Did you take Ben Griffin?
I did not. I wish I had.
He's
how
4
about
under.
how about Xander?
I can't find Xander on here. Ludwig, who I have, is 3 under par.
Right.
I don't know where's Xander. Oh, Xander's 2 under. The leader, Akshay Bhatia, is 8 under par.
Okay. Well, how's Scotty doing?
He's 3 under.
He'll be right there.
Yeah, he'll make his run today.
Yeah, he'll shoot 7
He's
under.
like, I'm keeping everybody entertained that I'm 5 shots back.
Yeah, what a machine he has been. What a machine.
Listen to this, JC. This Titan More text line. Rick from Jupiter.
Okay, love it, Rick.
A lot of good golf courses in Jupiter.
Oh yeah.
He says, QB, me and the buddies were talking at the golf course and debating if fantasy football hurt or helped the NFL product. I may be an old school football guy, but I hate what it did, but wanted your take.
Well, I think
I don't know how it's hurt the game.
No, for the fans, it's overwhelmingly helped the game.
There's a lot of people that probably watch. They probably don't even watch football. They watch that Red Zone channel because all they care about is who's scoring touchdowns, right?
What I watch. And they hate commercials.
Right. But what I'm saying is a person who may not really understand football or whatever, this is a way that they got involved because whether they're playing for money or they're playing for whatever in their group, it gives them something to keep up with. I'm not a fantasy football guy because I've done it a few times and I'm terrible at it.
A lot of work.
because after 3 weeks, I forget.
It's a lot of work. You got to
Put
keep
my
up.
roster and my whole roster sitting on the sideline.
You're a lousy GM, QB.
I'm a terrible GM. unless it was for real. Then I would.
For real means I got to get paid for this. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it. I kind of dabbled in it a couple times. I won a league one year, but after, it's too much. It is a lot of work, and you really got to keep up. And I have forgotten plenty of times when I'm at a Jacksonville Jaguars games tailgating, getting ready for the big 1:00 start. I've just forgotten to fill my roster in with guys who aren't hurt, or guys who are hurt, or when there's an open date or something like that. But if you love that kind of thing, if it keeps you involved in watching NFL, I'm all for it, man.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with it.
So I don't think it's hurt the game.
No, I think it's helped. I don't know why it would hurt anything. Gambling is good. So
Well, it is. I don't know if you consider that gambling. I mean, you
No?
can't
Well, you
gamble
put
on that.
money
That's
out there.
more. Some people do it just for fun, right?
sure. I don't know what you get out of that, but I'm one of those guys where if there's nothing
Well,
right,
some people like to just play golf for fun, JC.
Well, now I certainly don't understand that. I that's just beyond my comprehension. But I know there. Okay, so I get why people do it. I'll never do it. It's like me going to the Gainesville Health and Fitness Center and watching some guy do bench pressing, and then watching some girl on a treadmill. Oh, that's so cool.
Well,
But
JC,
that ain't for me.
hey, your time has run out.
Your
time has run out. It's already past your time. We got to get to Edgar.
Oh, you got to put me to bed.
Have a great weekend in your Speedo at the beach, JC.
Oh, my God. All right.
JC, join us on the Titan More Hotline, courtesy of Comfort Temp. Quick
Yeah,
time.
Monday.
We'll have Edgar tell us what's going on with Gator football. You're watching and listening to PodUp with Matthews in the Morning from the International Diamond Center Studios. We'll be right back. Our premium sponsors are Campus USA Credit Union, International Diamond Center, Meldon Law, QC Kinetics, UF Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute, JF Hayden Craft Liqueurs, Florida Cracker Kitchen, Los Linderos Tequila. Gridiron sponsors are Baker Sporting Goods, Comfort Temp, Electronics World, Florida Victorious, Gallo Car Wash, Miapa Latin Cafe, Peachland Dental, Quality Plumbing, Ruse Ogre State Farm, Silverback Concrete, 84 Lumber, Big Meals Cheesesteak, Celebrate Primary Care, Dowling Signs, Gator Bait Media, Gator Dominoes, Ironwood Golf Course, Tropical Smoothie Cafe, UF Bookstores, Nest and Wow, MG&A Wealth Management. Watch and listen to us live on Facebook and YouTube. Listen to the podcast whenever on Apple or Google Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Remember to like, follow, and subscribe so you don't miss an episode. To become a sponsor, call my man Freddie at 352-284-3733.
Naysayers, setbacks, injuries. Life throws a lot of hurdles your way. The key is just keep jumping them.
I'm tired of you living in pain, and I want you to get real lasting relief from chronic pain in your knees, back, shoulders, and hips. QC Kinetics can get you moving again with cutting-edge regenerative treatments with no drugs, no downtime, and no surgery. Stop putting it off. Call now and schedule your free consultation. Call QC Kinetics now in Gainesville, Ocala, and the Villages. 352-400-4550. 352-400-4550.
Coach, it always impressed me how you beat Florida State to win the 1996 national championship.
And I was really impressed with your 06, 08, and 09 Gator teams.
And the way you coached Danny to the Heisman Trophy.
A lot like what you did with Tim Tebow.
You know, you won more SEC championships than you lost home games at the Swamp.
And you had plenty of super games in front of our Gator Nation.
Yeah, there really is something special about the Swamp.
I guess that's why we say about the Swamp, only the Gators get out alive.
To the Swamp and the Gators, with the best beverage served at Spur's Gridiron Grill, 100% agave, Los Linderos tequila, aged in bourbon barrels for a smoother taste.
I think you mean head beer coach, 1966 lager, a crisp, light, bodied lager for easy drinking.
Nope, Los Landeros Tequila, smooth enough to drink neat, bold enough to elevate a cocktail.
1966 lager, enjoyed on game days in the fall or whenever you need a winning cold brew.
Los Landeros Tequila.
1966 lager.
Los Landeros.
1966 lager.
Y'all stop bickering.
Okay, you're both wrong anyway. The best thing Spurrier's Gridiron Grill offers are Jerry's famous chocolate chip cookies.
Welcome back to the International Diamond Center Studios, Miapa Latin Cafe, proud to support Gator Nation for 22 years. New location opening in Alachua. New building, same food, serve with a smile. Check out one of their 5 locations today. Back to the Titan More Hotline, courtesy of Comfort Tent. We're joined by the Orlando Sentinels, Edgar Thompson. Good morning, Edgar. How you doing?
What's up, Shane? Doing okay.
Give us some updates. What's going on with Gators? Obviously, injury bugs kind of hit the Gators. Dallas Wilson, lower leg injury. Do you have what kind of lower leg injury it might be? Ankle, calf, toe?
Could be a foot. I'm not sure 100%. He, someone called me last night and mentioned foot. It's funny because these guys just are circulating out in the world, right? Just like normal human beings, and people take pictures of things. So we're just hearing before we got on that this was someone took a picture. Is that what we heard?
I think somebody posted something on one of the message boards of one of those message companies. I don't really know. Here's the thing. Injuries are going to happen, right? They usually receivers, they take a day off or whatever because maybe their hamstring is a little tight, a little sore, because you do a lot of running when you're practicing this much in fall camp. Maybe an O lineman or a D lineman or a linebacker maybe gets a stinger. They sit out a day. It's no big deal. But I think in today's world, with so much social media and just the way the world is, it's like if you walked out with, if I walked out of the new facility and I was playing quarterback and I had like a bandage from just say I got cut by a chin strap on my elbow and it was bandaged and I walking through my car in the parking lot, all hell's going to break loose, right? His elbow's falling
for
off.
sure.
So you don't really know what's going on. Hopefully these guys will be ready to go when it counts.
So here's a good one. Will Richard last year was in a boot a good bit. And then he'd show up and kill it most nights. I mean, he was kind of interestingly inconsistent at times, Will Richard, but in one of the games, do you remember he had one game where I don't think he even hit a field goal?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that one?
I do.
And his foot was bothering him pretty badly then. So this was like in a February game, I believe. Might have been Tennessee, excuse me, where they lost so badly. Might have been that game. So that was early February 1, I think. So he was nursing that. He showed up for the games that mattered, and he was huge in the tournament. I'm not saying that's how DJ, for example, is going to be this season, but when the boot was going on, someone mentioned to me that, remember, Will Richard was in a boot like every time we saw him almost over there.
Yeah.
So these guys, man, are mitigating, taking weight off things. I'm not saying that's where Dallas Wilson is now. It sounds like he's going to miss a couple of weeks for sure. And let's hope they give him time to come back fully, because don't forget, Ricky Pearsall hurt his foot the first week of camp in his first season. You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
And I was doing a story on him in 2023 and his mom talking about their relationship and stuff, Aaron. And she said, man, Ricky was never healthy last year. So I just hope he's healthy this year. And then he was, and we saw the season he had, and it was a first round pick. So you don't, feet, as you know, they're the slowest healing things because you're on them. So if that's what it is with him, I'm saying that was a deal with Pearsall.
Yeah, like when I look at injuries and when guys get banged up during camp or whatever and they miss some time, it doesn't really bother me because a guy like Dallas Wilson, he knows he's going to learn the route tree. He's going to know what plays he has to run. The experience and the reps to me aren't that big a deal for a guy like him or a running back. The reps to me for a guy is the quarterback. You got to get reps, man, live reps, in practice or whatever, because DJ's still a young guy. What started 7 games? It's not like he's coming off being a 2-year starter, and you can sit a little bit. So the quarterback not practicing or not getting as many reps as another position is totally different, in my opinion. Real quick, on Facebook Live brought to you by Mellon Law, Brandon says, I heard he had a sore foot, don't know all the details, and the coaches were wanting him to rest it, but he was doing workouts at night and it started to flare up again, so they hard casted it to stop him. Take it for what it's worth. I didn't know he was in a hard cast.
That's interesting. Yeah, he is in a cast. No, so back to the DJ or the quarterback thing. DJ seems to be progressing. Apparently he had a really good day throwing the football yesterday. Someone called me last night. We were just talking general things, and he was talking to someone who was at practice, right? And he's like, yeah, it's DJ. They were really pleased. You know who else sounds like might be popping is Tramel Jones. They like him.
Okay.
And so if DJ really something happened and he doesn't play a game, don't automatically assume it's going to be Aiden Warner or Harrison Bailey, who the other day was highly inaccurate in the time that we were watching him.
Which one?
Harrison did not look good on Saturday. Now, I don't know that's the windows are so small. I mean, it's like making inferences from any of the stuff that we get to see is absurd, to be honest. It's routes on air, and it's not much. But yeah, but so it sounds like DJ's moving in a positive direction. I'll say this though, Shane, it's every year there's key camp injuries. Justice Boone blew his ACL out a couple of years ago right away. That was a big loss for that defense. He was pretty stout on the edge. He was never the same player after that. I don't know where he even is right now. Shamar James, remember, tweaked his knee that summer.
Right.
And he wasn't that good that year. And then he had to get season-ending surgery prior to the Arkansas game. And the defense just fell off the face after that. Do you remember that? They were giving up 38 a game in the last 5 games of that losing streak. And Arkansas, beginning with Arkansas, without Shamar. Montrell Johnson last year had the knee.
Right.
He was kind of nursing that throughout the year a bit. He had his moments, but wasn't really as good as he'd been. So these things can linger. You don't want injuries, clearly. I mean, that's a stupid statement, but yeah, you want to avoid them, but they're inevitable. But there have been some key ones in the last couple of years. Pearsall. I mean, he had a good season in 2022. He had a great season in 2023 when he clearly was fully healthy.
Brian on Facebook Live brought to you by Mellon Law says, Edgar and Shane, I'm curious your guys' opinions on this. Do you think players today are softer than they were 30 or 40 years ago? The game is different, but do you think that's a real thing? I'll go first. Yes, yes, yes. Because you practice differently. We used to practice 3 times a day when I was in college. I mean, think about that. 3 practices a day. It was
we were talking about that last week.
Yeah. They don't even do 2-a-days anymore. I think with the money in today's world, guys may not be more intrigued to get out on the field quicker until they feel really good. Back then, when you're fighting for your spot on the team or the playing time, you may have a banged up shoulder as a running back and you may sit out one practice, but you're like, I got to get back in there if I want to play. It's just the mentality is totally different in my opinion. And what's crazy is there's no way to measure someone's pain tolerance, right? There's not like a little instrument you can put on somebody's shoulder and tell if he's really hurt or not. You got any thoughts on the so-called toughness of players in today's world?
I mean, I don't want to disparage these kids who work their tails off and
I
are
agree with that.
absolute physical freaks. I mean, I wrote about Jaden Woods the other day. The guy's cleaning 365 as an 18-year-old, squatting 555. I mean, these guys, they're unbelievable. But that goes to part of your point a while back, is the training. Some of these guys train so hard. You're tight. You're putting yourself potentially at risk. I'm not saying that Jaden Woods is, but I'm saying some of these guys, that was your theory, kind of maybe on DJ a little, is he maybe training too much at times? I don't know, man. Look, I played sports forever, but I never played beyond high school. I remember my senior year in high school, man, my shoulder, I came in kind of high on a play. Guy got up and blocked under me, and I was like, man, and I told my coach, I said, something happened to my shoulder. He's like, yeah, you're fine. We stayed, and when I took my pads off afterwards, my AC joint was sitting up. I'm serious, like that high.
Yep.
And
I got one of those too.
They put a donut on it the next week. I wasn't supposed to play, and the kid in front of me, this skinny ass like sophomore, broke his wrist in the first quarter, and they threw me back in. And they're just pound. I mean, it just. I'm not saying that I was super tough. My shoulder's still screwed up, probably because that's like. But yeah, that wasn't smart. I'm not saying that I was tougher than anybody. I'm just saying you do what you got to do, and you're playing high school football. You don't even think about the repercussions. And now you're like a thoroughbred, and rightly so, because as you said, you're getting paid for one, but there's a lot of an investment made into getting you on campus, keeping you on campus. So they're watching you closely. You're in the training room. They're taking care of you. Can that create, I'm curious for your thought, a mentality that everything you feel, you're kind of like, I mean, DJ's been hurt enough now that when something comes up, he's probably going to be a little like worried, like is something going on, because has had injuries. Is that a thing? The mentality of like wondering if you are injured, and maybe there's a difference between being injured and hurt, right?
Correct. When you're injured, that means the doctors, there's like, you can't play at a high level. You can't play. Being hurt, everybody's hurt. Everybody is hurt today when they go to practice. Something is hurting them. So Florida Crackers the brand for, what's that?
Something's hurting us sitting right here.
You're damn right it is. Florida Crackers, the brand for original Floridians, great food and Southern hospitality in the center of the universe, Brooksville, Florida, floridacracker.com. We got Edgar Thompson from the Orlando Sentinel. Edgar, Andy says on Facebook Live, brought to you by Mel Law, he loved your piece on Rocco Underwood. Do you think he snaps in an NFL regular season game next year?
Oh, thank you for reading. Yeah, I haven't written on him yet, and he's a Lake Mary kid, so I'm glad I got around to doing that. Because he's exceptional at what he does.
He's very good.
Interesting. They say there was some study Hog Haven did in 2023 that I put in the story. Some Washington Redskins site or Commander site, and long snappers can have like 9 to 12-year careers. Like, I don't know, they've made it sound like on average versus like the average NFL player is 3.3. So if you're a good long snapper, you can make some money and have a long career. So I don't know about as a rookie next year, maybe. I mean, he seems elite. I don't know why that didn't seem like a position that you would have to come in and, learn tons of things. I mean, maybe some protection things, but that isn't like overly.
No, it's all about your accuracy and the timing on your snap. And he's very good. However, as we all see that when you watch games on Sundays, they'll have some long snapper from Northeast Louisiana, right? Yeah. They're going to find the best in the world. And could it be him? Yeah. First of all, he can snap as a rookie. They're not going to keep more than one snapper usually. They're going to cut you. Sure. If a snapper gets hurt in the NFL, there's plenty of them out there on the waiver wire at home ready to make the money and go play. So to answer your question, does he have a chance to play at the next level? Yes. A lot of people do. but it's crazy how these NFL people, who and what they find across America, right? I mean, you look at the rosters. I always get a kick out of this. It'd be like, you watch a preseason game, and a lot of those guys aren't going to make it, but you see a receiver just tearing it up. You're like, man, where'd that guy play? And it's, Pittsburgh State University. It's schools like that you never heard of. So it'll be interesting. All right.
I used to get enamored at camp. I think there was this kid, David Sutton, 6'4" or 5 receiver out of UTEP. I was like in love with him. When he got cut, the first cuts too, I was like so crushed. And I remember Armando Salguero, Armando covered the Dolphins for years, and he might be without kick now. But anyway, Armando's an NFL wonk, and he was laughing. He's like, dude, you love that guy. He was never going to make it. I didn't want to disappoint you. But you do kind of see these, they come out of everywhere. I mean, UTEP is not that obscure, but it's still pretty obscure. They don't put many NFL guys out.
Well, the damn running back that used to play for the Packers now, I think at the Vikings, Aaron Jones. Very good player. He's UTEP.
Oh, is he UTEP?
Yeah, he's outstanding. I think he's UTEP.
Yeah, I remember Aaron Jones.
Jack says on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plumber, have you and Edgar given your expected win-loss record for the season? I've been sick and have missed a lot of your shows. Jack, you can always go back and watch them while you're laying in bed. But I'm an 8-4-9-3 guy.
Mm-hmm. Me too. I would say they could win 9. I think 9 would be cause for celebration. I think 8 would be like, okay, we're acceptable. I don't think below that people will be happy. And anything over 9, people will be ecstatic. And it's all possible, right? When you go back to back, LSU, Miami, then you get Texas, then at A&M, and then you got that, the Ole Miss, Tennessee back to backs, and you get Georgia shoved in there. And those are the games. I mean, I don't know how many I just mentioned, like 7. That's 7 games. They're all losable, right?
Yeah, you got to play well, get the ball bounce your way to win them for sure. Getting a lot of texts on the Titan MR text line about the scrimmage tomorrow. Edgar, what do you know about that? What time is it going to start?
We're not involved in that.
But isn't it around noonish though?
I mean, it's 12:30, but we're not like we can't watch.
Right.
And then we get Billy on Monday at noon. Be nice to get him Sunday about it, but it's fine. I'd like to play golf Sunday if possible. Sundays are running out here. And then they practice Monday, but yeah, they get Sunday off. 12:30. I'm in the swamp. I think the weather's okay tomorrow at that hour, I believe.
Yeah, the way these scrimmages
tomorrow it says anyway. Who knows?
Well, it's going to rain tomorrow. Just don't know what time it's going to rain.
It shouldn't be that
That's
early.
a fact. It's summertime here. But the way those scrimmages work, they're still going to do all their individual stuff. They're going to do pass skelly. They'll do some more drills. They'll walk through special teams, do some special teams. Then they'll go to the controlled scrimmage. They got it set up. Whatever. I don't know what you can take from it. I know people want to go watch it, but you can't. All right, Edgar, we've run out of time already, believe it or not. It goes by fast when Edgar Thompson's on. You got anything you're working on that people might be excited to read here?
Well, we're getting J. Michael Sturdivant today for the first time, I believe. We're getting Caleb Banks, Jaden Robinson, Jake Slaughter, but J. Michael Sturdivant is new. I think I'm going to write on what his thoughts are on how he got here and trying to be one of the next transfer receivers.
I'm not sure if I read this correctly, but I want to say he grew up like 3 houses down from Graham Mertz.
J. Michael Sturdivant?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
ask him about that. Now, they went their different ways in college. Maybe Sturdivant eventually moved, and I don't know if they played high school ball together, but I swear I read that, and I think he had a lot to do. I think Graham had a lot to do with him coming here.
He's from Highland Village, Texas, it says. So he played high school ball in Texas.
Right, but I think as youngsters, they grew up. I think he grew up in Kansas or wherever Graham.
Yeah, I'm interested in him. And I mean, he has all the measurables and looks the part, and looks like he's going to be a starter. So I think people haven't heard from him. I mean, Jake Slaughter obviously is the anchor of the O line, and Caleb Banks, the anchor of the D line. We'll be writing about all these guys as the time goes. And then I'm trying to dig in on a couple other kind of player stories, some of the interesting the couple players that are interesting. I think I might do a deeper dive into Jaden Ball here very soon.
All right.
Jaden Ball is unbelievable. We were there at practice last week, walking around the swamp. He is just such a specimen, man.
He is a good
broken
one.
every record in the weight room. The guy
Yep.
pound for pound one at least.
All right, Edgar, go break some records in the weight room today. We appreciate your time, my friend.
See you, man.
Edgar Thompson from the Orlando Sentinel joins us on the Tag Number hotline, courtesy of Comfort Temp. Injuries occur whenever and however, and it's never convenient for sprains, strains, and minor fractures. UF Health Orthocare makes it convenient for you 7 days a week, including evenings, and walk-ins are welcome. Have a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday. Take care.